It was a cool, quiet night in San Francisco. The city's neon lights flickered outside a small apartment window. Inside, Max Butler, better known online as Iceman, was hunched over his computer. He did not know that his empire was about to fall. Max had been the king of the digital underworld for years. But this night, footsteps echoed in the hallway. FBI agents moved in fast, breaking the silence. They burst into his apartment, shouting commands, guns raised. Max barely had time to react. His hands shot into the air. The keyboard, the tool of his power, became useless. As they cuffed him, Max looked down. He knew the digital kingdom he built was gone forever. Max Butler was born in the quiet mountain town of Meridian, Idaho. He was a shy boy who liked to stay indoors. While other kids played outside, Max spent hours alone in his room, lost in thought. His parents worried about him. They wanted him to make friends and enjoy the sun. But Max felt different. He did not fit in well with other children. He was quiet and awkward, always searching for something more. One day, Max's father brought home an old computer. For Max, it was like magic. He turned it on and began to explore, pressing keys and watching the screen light up. The computer became his best friend. From that day, Max's life changed. He found a world where he belonged. In the digital space, he could be anyone. He was not just a shy boy anymore. He was a creator and explorer. Max's love for computers grew quickly. He read every book and magazine he could find. He learned to write code and fix computer problems. Technology became his escape and his obsession. In high school, Max spent his free time at the library using public computers. He made simple games and learned how networks worked. He was fascinated by the idea that you could connect to someone far away just by typing commands. At home, he built his own computer from spare parts. He took things apart and put them back together, wanting to understand how everything worked. His parents saw his passion and encouraged him, hoping it would lead to a good job one day. By the time Max finished school, he knew more about computers than most adults. But he wanted more. He wanted to see what was hidden behind the locked doors of the digital world. Max's curiosity soon pushed him further. Late at night, while his family slept, he explored hidden corners of the web. He read online forums where hackers shared tricks and secrets. It was a new kind of adventure, a digital Wild West. He started small. Max used simple programs to test the security of school computers. He found weak points and slipped inside, leaving no trace. The thrill was like nothing he had ever felt. He was in control. Soon, he moved on to bigger targets. He broke into business networks and poked around for hours. Sometimes he left harmless notes just to prove he had been there. Other times, he took files to study them, always careful to cover his tracks. But each successful hack made Max bolder. He realized the security was often much weaker than people thought. The idea of what he could do, what he might become, began to change him. At first, Max told himself it was harmless. He was just learning. But soon, the lines blurred. He started joining online groups where hackers traded stolen credit card data and personal information. Money became a part of the game. Max discovered how to use stolen cards to buy things online. He sold stolen data to others for profit. The world of cybercrime opened up before him, bigger than anything he had imagined. Max felt powerful. He was no longer the shy boy from Idaho. Online, he was Iceman, a name that inspired fear and respect. Other hackers looked up to him. He built software to help criminals hide from the law, but with power came risk. The FBI and other authorities began to notice the growing wave of cybercrime. Max knew that one mistake could bring everything crashing down. As Max's skills grew, so did his reputation. One day, the FBI contacted him. They knew about his hacking but offered him a deal, help them catch other cybercriminals, and they would protect him. Max agreed. He became a confidential informant, passing information to the agents. For a while, he felt like a hero, helping the law while living his secret life online. But it was a dangerous dance. He gave the FBI tips about rival hackers and helped stop cyber attacks. At the same time, he continued his own illegal work. He believed he could outsmart everyone, playing both sides without getting caught. But living a double life was stressful. Max had to hide his crimes from his handlers and hide his cooperation from the hackers. The walls began to close in, and the pressure mounted with every secret he kept. Max's ambition grew. He wanted to rule the digital underworld. He started hacking into rival forums, taking over their networks by force. One by one, he brought competitors under his control. He combined several major cybercrime sites into one, called Carter's Market. Here criminals from around the world could buy and sell stolen credit cards, fake IDs, and hacking tools. Iceman was the boss, trusted and feared by all. The money flowed in. Max built a network of loyal followers who helped him keep control. He developed new ways to hide their activities, staying one step ahead of law enforcement. But this power brought new enemies. Other hackers were jealous, and the police were watching closer than ever. Max's empire was strong, but it was also fragile. One mistake could destroy it all. Max believed he was untouchable, but then he made a mistake. While hacking a rival, he left behind a small clue, a digital fingerprint that led investigators back to him. The FBI noticed the pattern. Agents began to follow Max, watching his every move. They traced the stolen data through servers around the world. Each piece of the puzzle brought them closer. Max tried to cover his tracks, but it was too late. The FBI asked for help from other agencies. They built a special team just to catch Iceman. For months, they watched, waited, and gathered evidence. Max felt the net closing, but he kept pushing his luck. Finally, the FBI was ready. They planned the raid for months, making sure they would get everything they needed to put Max away for good. On that calm night in San Francisco, it all ended. The FBI stormed Max's apartment, seizing computers, hard drives, and notebooks. They found millions of stolen credit card numbers and proof of his crimes. The evidence was overwhelming. In court, Max tried to explain his side. He talked about his childhood and his double life, but the jury saw the damage he had caused. Businesses lost millions and thousands of people suffered. Max was sentenced to 13 years in federal prison. The judge called him one of the most dangerous cybercriminals in history. The world he built was destroyed. Carter's Market was shut down, and his followers scattered. As Max left the courtroom, he looked back one last time. He knew his name would never be forgotten, but not for the reasons he once hoped. Max served his time behind bars. Years passed. The world outside changed faster than he could have imagined. New technology sprang up. Smartphones, social media, cloud computing. The cybercrime world grew even larger, more complex than before. When Max was finally released, he was a free man but also a stranger in a new world. The skills that once made him powerful were now outdated. He watched as new hackers rose, using tools he had never dreamed of. Max thought about his past. He saw the harm his actions had caused not just to strangers, but to himself and his family. He realized that his quest for power and respect had come at a terrible cost. The legend of Iceman faded, but his story remained a warning. Even in a world built on secrets and shadows, the truth always finds a way out.